Welcome back to another Dollywood construction update. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, and behind me you can see a lot of progress has been made on the Dolly Parton Experience, where we'll be starting today the new for 2024 attraction that's still not open yet. It's slated to open May, but it's currently May 15th, so I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We'll see. Of course, all that being said, these are 3 indoor attractions here, so it's impossible for us from our views in the park to see how much progress has been made inside. You can see quite a lot's been made outside, and actually they could get this open by the end of the month, depending on how much is done inside. But like I said, we just don't really have any idea. Unfortunately, because of where they've placed the fences that we can't cross, our vantage points are not going to be fantastic, but okay, so actually I'm just silly and didn't do my research. I just looked up and they've officially stated May 24th as the opening day for this area, which is next Friday. It's currently a Wednesday, so about a week and a half. So it looks like it's all hands on deck right now trying to get this finished up. There have been a ton of people coming in and out of this area and lots of people in there working. So I guess they really are trying to get it done for next Friday, and hopefully they get it done. So you can see the main building in front of us with all the butterflies on it. That's going to be the main attraction for the area. It's the new Dolly Parton Museum, going through her life and everything. There used to be one there called Chasing Rainbows, but it was getting a bit outdated. So this should be a completely new, from the ground up story of Dolly Parton's life museum with a completely different vibe, as you can see. They've got all the butterflies up on the building. I think from the concept art, really the last thing to do here is on that sequin butterfly thing, put up the name of the building, and I think that's about it. You can see pathing down here is like completely done from what I can tell, including all of the stonework around the planters and flower beds for the landscaping of the area. Again, this is an area that looked really bad. It was in really rough shape before this, so it's just really awesome to see it looking this nice. You can even see way back in there in the flower beds, they already have like the planters and stuff ready to go to get those plants planted for the landscaping. That probably shouldn't take very long, I don't imagine. So that building on the left there, the second of the 3 buildings, that's going to be some kind of exhibit about Dolly Parton's clothing. And then this building on the right, still Dream Song Theater, so still a theater in the back for shows, but it's going to have some kind of exhibit in the lobby. I forget exactly what that is, but this theater actually looks really nice on the front. You'll see that when we go to get the other angle, the only other angle we can get here. One more thing I wasn't really expecting, that I'm not 100% sure how I feel about, as you can see, well, there are brand new black lamp posts, but other than the lamp posts, you can see the lighting equipment to light up the buildings at night just on black posts there. Of course, it is good to know that the buildings will be lit up real nice at night, but I do feel like some of those projectors and lighting equipment, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb in the area. We'll see. I kind of felt similarly about the ones in front of Big Bear Mountain's waterfall, and you know, those kind of faded into the background pretty quickly, so maybe these will as well. But with that, the black colored poles and, you know, the coloring of everything else in the area, they really stick out, so I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Here's the only other angle of the area we can get approaching from the side by lightning rod. So there you go. You can see a lot of construction equipment is just kind of tucked into this corner here, which either means they're going to use it to finish up or that they're already done with it, which would be a good sign, I guess. And then right there you can see Dolly Parton's tour bus, which will be part of this new area as well. It got moved out into the parking lot for storage while they were working on the area, but they've moved it back in here, which means it's probably about ready to go, hopefully. You can see they're up there working on the giant sequin butterfly, which looks a lot cooler than I thought it was going to look, we'll put it that way. And you can see it looks like they either failed to mount or haven't mounted yet one of the butterflies over there. So still a little cosmetic work on that building, I guess, but not stuff that should take super long, so hopefully they'll make that opening next weekend. So if it come around this side a little bit, you'll see Dream Song Theater come into view, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's kind of still back there, but you can see it. I'll try to zoom in a bit. So yeah, that looks really cool, and it looks like they are putting in a similar kind of front onto the clothing exhibit here. So yeah, I think it's gonna look really good when it's done. Actually, a lot better than I expected. And that's about all that we are able to see from where we're permitted on the paths here. But that's cool, because that'll just leave a little bit more as a surprise to hopefully be able to experience next weekend. Again, we have no idea what's going on inside the buildings, but we assume that they're most of the way done. And yeah, we've only seen like a few like small like bits of concept art for what's even supposed to be in those buildings. So it will be a nice surprise to be going in like almost completely blind and seeing what's in there. And hopefully it'll be some pretty cool stuff. They've teased some cool stuff, hopefully. Again, just because that area has looked so bad for so long, I'm just so happy to see it actually look kind of nice and actually have something in it worth experiencing. And even if you don't care anything about the actual exhibits in there, the area will at least be open to walk through again. For all you coaster enthusiasts out there, that is the fastest way to cut through to Lightning Rod. Right now you have to walk down the main path, which can be pretty congested, and that is a really nice shortcut through there, so at least you'll have a nicer shortcut to Lightning Rod, if that's all that area means to you. I mean, personally, I'm not the biggest Dolly Parton fanatic either, and that area is definitely not catered like to me as a person, but it still looks pretty cool, some of the concept art. I am still very excited and very intrigued to see what's in store there, even if it's not, you know, exactly something that's 100% for me. So perhaps the biggest mystery construction project is whatever the heck is going on where the Plaza in Wilderness Pass used to be, right here. From what I can see from the top of Mystery Mines Lift Hill, they've still done absolutely nothing with it, just gravel, and you know, it looks exactly the same as it did 2.5 months ago. They've done no work whatsoever, but I'll go ahead and show you anyway. Over at these conveniently placed benches across from Fire Chaser. We'll go ahead and check, and you'll be able to see. Yeah, absolutely nothing has changed there whatsoever. I guess not super surprising. They probably want to finish that other project near the front of the park first, I guess. I'm just not sure why they started on this one so early, unless they really needed the off season to tear all that up. So looking at a project they actually have made some progress on. This is a new restaurant, or just the refurbishment of a restaurant opening up as a new restaurant here right across from the grist mill where the cinnamon bread is. And this seems to be coming along quite nicely. Like I said, it's not a brand new ground up building. They're just refurbing the old one. They've expanded the size a little bit, but not too much. Just from outside the fence, you can see that they have painted at least a good portion of the outside of the building there. Looks really nice with the fresh coat of paint. You can see the lighting up there, all the good stuff. We now know from the Dollywood app that this will be called Miss Lillian's Mill House, which I think the old one was Miss Lillian's Smokehouse. And we know it's gonna be cafeteria style, but they haven't posted the menu or anything up there yet. Coming around to the right side of the building, this is where Miss Lillian's Barbecue Corner used to be. Let's see if something like that is still there. And yeah, there does still appear to be a counter there, and they seem to be refurbishing it like they're going to keep using it. This was a quick service location selling just a few more bulk items, and Miss Lillian's Smokehouse was a bit of a nicer go inside kind of place. So it looks like they may be looking to do a similar kind of thing again, because I assume they would have boarded up these windows if this was not going to be a quick service window. But you can see the whole outside of the building is repainted to this green color. Definitely nice. That building hadn't had a repaint in a very long time. They made that fence very tall and difficult to see over, but I'll try my best to get a shot or two. Also, sorry it's raining. I was waiting for a break in the rain to do this. It just hasn't happened, so. Oh, hey, look, there's a peephole. So from peeping through the peephole, it appears that they have most of the furniture in there ready to be unpackaged and set out. And it looks like we're looking at like a kind of pseudo indoor outdoor seating area like we've seen at a lot of the other restaurant refurbs around the park, where it's like a pavilion type thing where they can put down the shades if they need to for weather, or leave them up and have it be an open air pavilion if the weather cooperates. You can also barely see over to the right there, the Coca-Cola soda fountains are there, seemingly ready to go. They look like they're the exact same ones that Dollywood's installed pretty much everywhere else in the park. I think Lumberjacks is the only place that doesn't have that exact model of machine yet, so not surprising, but notable nonetheless. I do kind of long for the return of fully indoor, fully climate controlled eating areas to the park. We really only have that in the like expensive sit-down restaurants, but I've been to like Carowinds recently. I think most of the Cedar Fair parks and a lot of other independent and chain parks have like very large indoor seating spaces at some of their quick service locations. And honestly, it's just really nice to have, even if you'd rather sit outside, it's nice to have the option. So I do hope we see something like that here at some point, but I guess it's not too surprising that they decided to go with the same thing they've been doing with most places. So basically, I'm saying this is probably going to be a kind of boring restaurant refurb reopening there, Miss Lillian's Mill House, because it appears to kind of just be more of the same that we've seen over and over again over the last couple of years in terms of style. But hopefully we'll have some unique food options that'll be interesting to check out when that does open. Again, we have no time frame on that, but it did just show up in the Dollywood app a little while ago. So hopefully that means it'll be done at some point soon. They looked pretty close, at least from the seating area. I have no idea what's going on in the kitchen, which is kind of the more important part, but only time will tell.